Hey Hero fans, this is Todd. So today we're going to talk about how to fix your Hawke figure. Now here's how it looks before. Her neck is really short, and here's how the after looks. So I'm going to show you the steps. So again, here is your Hawke figure, and you can see how her neck just is not extended very far right in this area right here. It's kind of short. And here's how it looks after I've done the fix. It brings her head up so it looks a lot higher. Actually, her chin actually looks smaller after you move the head up higher. So let me show you the steps for doing this. Now the first step is always heat the figure up. You never want to pull the heads off on these new figures until you heat them up a little bit. There's many ways to do it. I like to use hot water. If you want, you can use a hair dryer or a heat gun. I've seen other ways to do it as well. But no matter how you do it, make sure you heat it up so you don't break the neck peg. These figures have a really issue with the neck peg breaking, so heat them up. Once you heat it up, it's very easy to pull the head off. It just pops right off. Alright, you can see how deep this hole goes. Now I'm not sure when they were making it if they figured out to make it deep. We're going to use these O-rings right here in order to stack up that area and make it so the hole is not quite so deep. So to do this, we're going to get some super glue and actually put glue right around the edge of the hole. And you want to surround it all the way around. Try not to get any glue inside the hole as you do this. Take the O-ring and put it into the hole and use some kind of tool to push it in. You can use an eraser from the back of a pencil, or you can even use some kind of a metal rounded tool like for sculpting. I find it works great to use the eraser first to kind of get it in place, and once it's in place to use that round metal tool to really hold it in place so the super glue can set up. And that works really good for this. So make sure it stays in nice and tight, line it up. Now in this view it looks kind of strange, but actually, trust me, it is flat and it did fit in there very nicely. I don't know why the video makes it look like it's at an angle in the back, but it actually works really well. So your next step is to get a Q-tip and clean out all the excess super glue. Now the cool part about these Q-tips is when the glue touches it, it dries instantly. So using this Q-tip, you can take the extra glue out, and then it will just cause it just to dry instantly, and it works really well. You may see some rubber coming off from the O-ring from the super glue. No big problem, just leave it the way it is. Now glue around it again. It's time for the second O-ring to sit on top of it. Just want to use two O-rings to stack it up all the way. Again, just go around the outside of it, put the O-ring on, and again use a metal tool. Now for this one, I like to use a larger diameter tool, just so that I'm not accidentally poking through the center of the O-ring. Now you can use this to really press it down and tight and make sure that it sits flush, and then it will work great for the figure. So use a lot of pressure and make sure it sits nice and flat. Now the problem is if you just leave it just like this, you'll find that sometimes when you go to put it on the figure and pull it off, the O-rings will pop out of the head. So to fix this, I got this really cool new glue. Make sure you use a Q-tip to dry out all the super glue first. This glue though, it uses infrared light to dry instantly. You can buy it on Amazon.com, I've seen other places too. But before you use it, make sure you get all the super glue out completely. So here's the glue right here. Let me show you what it looks like. Oh, let me first get all the glue out. Again, these Q-tips dried instantly. I'll make sure there's no wet glue at all when I put this on first. So I'm going to get it totally dried out. Okay, here's the glue right here. And again, this stuff works really cool. It's rapid fix. Basically, you use infrared light and it dries really quick, like this in seconds. So you want to put this all around. Just put a glob on the back first because this gets really messy stuff. I used a screwdriver to kind of mesh it all the way around. What I'm trying to do is fair it in so it makes a nice flush surface right around the O-ring. So you want it so that it holds into the head and makes a nice surface all the way across the top. That's how it should look. Then you're going to grab the UV light and you're going to hit it with it, and you'll see it will light up so you can see exactly where that glue is. And that is where the glue is. And as it starts to dry, you'll see it will turn more white. Now this will be invisible once the light is off of it. Now I actually have a super powered light that I bought on Amazon. It works really good to dry this stuff. So let me go and grab that light too, and you can just see when you use that light, it will just totally blast everything and completely dry it out. There it is, my mega light. And you can see where the glue is, and it dries pretty quick. Now sometimes this glue has a slight residue left over on the surface when you're done, so you want to make sure to clean that off. Just grab a Q-tip. A dry one works good for this. You can use alcohol, but be very careful, and then just swab it out to get rid of anything that's sticky or any residue left in there. Alright, after you get all the residue off, you're now going to reheat this head, because even though the O-rings are rubber, the head itself is holding these O-rings from stretching out. So reheat the head again. Again, use hot water or a heat gun or a hair dryer, whatever you want to use. I personally like to use hot water. And get the head so it's nice and soft so you can actually put it over the top of the body. I probably should have heated the head longer than I did. You'll see I have a little bit of trouble getting it on the first time. I was a little too impatient. I suggest when you guys do it, you just heat it up a little bit longer than I did. So you can see there, it's a little bit warm. I'm going to pop it on the body now. And again, I probably should have heated it a little more so I didn't have to apply so much pressure. But you guys get the idea. Alright, and the head's on there. You'll notice now the neck's a lot longer looking. You can see the blue collar piece very easily, and her head is fully movable. And now I have both my heads done. I got one red one and one blonde one done. Alright, let's go ahead and look at a comparison so you guys can see the difference. Actually, you know what? I'm going to put the red one on first so I can have both my figures together so you can look at them. Okay, here's the comparison. You can see the inside of the head with the O-rings, how it looks. And then there's the head that has not been fixed yet. You can see how it gets rid of that depth of that head. Alright, so now let's pop this head on there. You can see how they look. There's the two figures fixed. And that's it. Really easy way to fix them. Alright, you guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you next video.